My favorite part of the Seerah is when Prophet Muhammad was leading the prayer at the Kaaba in Quraysh. He was reading Surah Al-Najm. Then he read the ayah that had the word Isjudu. And there was all people from Quraysh and the Muslims did sujood. My favorite part of the Seerah is when Muhammad ﷺ opened Mecca 8 Hijri. My favorite part about the Seerah is his family tree. I liked when he was curious and he was smart and he would never give up. My favorite part of Seerah is the family tree. My favorite part of the Seerah was in the black stone because Prophet Muhammad was so wise. And my favorite part of the story is the year of the elephant. When Halima nursed Muhammad. His prophethood because Prophet Muhammad was a nice man to the other people. And I like the year of the elephant. My favorite part of Muhammad's part is the Battle of Uhud. Is when he went to Hajj. I like the part when Muhammad sailed to Abyssinia. His companions sailed to Abyssinia. I like when the first story of Prophet Muhammad the first battle. And my two favorite parts of Prophet Muhammad life is the battle of Uhud and the year of the elephant. My favorite part of the Seerah is the black stone. My favorite part was the war.
Which one? Which battle?
The first one.
Which
Badr.
one? It's called Badr.
My favorite part of the Seerah is when the Prophet gave his last sermon. My favorite part of the Seerah was the boycott. It was the third battle or
The third battle? The Battle of the Trench? Oh.
My favorite Seerah is when Sayyidina Muhammad built al-Masjid al-Nabawi. Is when the 1,000 Muslims
10,000?
10,000 Muslims said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and then Bilal climbed on the Kaaba, and then said the Itham.
The Adhan? Oh, so you're talking about the conquest of Mecca.
Is when Prophet Muhammad took the black stone and put it on the Kaaba. My favorite part of the Seerah is when the Prophet died because I loved him. My most favorite part is when Prophet Muhammad was walking as a little boy in the desert with his mama, and then his mama started to cry because he saw Prophet Muhammad's father's grave. And my second favorite part is when he died, because I love the two secrets he said to one of his daughters, the last one that was alive.
Fatima. Radiallahu anha.
When Prophet Muhammad was with Halima Sa'diya in the desert and he made them lucky.
He blessed life. There's more barakah in their lives.
My favorite part of the Seerah is that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam died and Aisha radiallahu anhu. My favorite part is Battle of Badr and Battle of Uhud. My favorite part was when Muhammad got nursed by Halima. My favorite part is the Battle of the Trench.
when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said his last sermon, because it's really beautiful and it's helpful for beginner Muslims. My favorite part is when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam died on Aisha's lap.
When he was in the desert and no one picked him, but there was only one person that could pick him.
Who was that?
Halima
Sa'diyah, yeah.
Is when Prophet Muhammad led the 10,000 Muslims to Mecca, and Bilal, who used to be a slave, climbed the Kaaba and said the first adhan that was said publicly. When they put back the black stone when they were rebuilding the Kaaba. So my favorite part of the story is like when Prophet Muhammad died, but not like he died. It's because he told his daughter Fatima two things. The first thing is that he's gonna die, and she started crying. So the second thing is that she will be the first one to join him when he dies.
My favorite part of the Seerah is the Battle of the Trench.
My favorite part of the Seerah is the Battle of Trench. My favorite part of the Seerah is Battle of Trench.
My favorite part of the Seerah is when Prophet Muhammad was raised in the desert.
My favorite part of the Seerah is Battle of Badr. My favorite part of the Seerah is Isra wal Miraj.
Is Isra and Miraj because Prophet Muhammad got to meet the other prophets, and he got to meet Allah.
Was Battle of Badr because Allah sent angels to help the Muslims. Is about Zayd ibn al-Haritha with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Zayd ibn al-Haritha's parents came, he chose to stay with Muhammad because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is always kind, generous, and always helpful.
There was the treaty happening, and they couldn't go to Umrah, and they had to do it next year. When An-Najashi became Muslim.
Was when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions won the Battle of Badr. My favorite is the marriage of Khadija. Also, I bet Rasulullah was very lucky to get Khadija's attention. And Khadija must felt like it was the best day of her life when she met Muhammad. My favorite part of the Seerah was Zayd bin Haritha.
Why?
Because I like that part.
My favorite part of the Seerah was the Battle of Mu'tah because the Muslims went against the most powerful empire in the whole world, the Roman Empire, and they had 200,000 people, and the Muslims only had 3,000 people.
Well, I like all of it, but if I had to choose, I would choose when the Muslims won the Battle of Badr.
My favorite part of the Seerah was when the treaty was made in 6 Hijri.
Is when 10,000 Muslims surrounded Mecca, then Abu Sufyan became Muslim.
Is when Prophet Muhammad's companions go to Abyssinia and they meet An-Najashi.
My favorite part of the Seerah is the Battle of Uhud.
My favorite part of the Seerah is the Battle of Badr.
My favorite part of the Seerah is Fatah Makkah.
My favorite part of the Seerah is Battle of Badr.
My favorite part of the Seerah is Battle of Uhud.
When it was 8 Hijri and Abu Sufyan became Muslim. This teaches us that it's never late to become Muslim.
My favorite part of the Seerah was when the Roman Empire got defeated by the Muslims, and the battle was Al-Mu'tah.
Buhaira saw Prophet Muhammad had a cloud on top of him, so he knew he was the last prophet.
My favorite story from the Seerah, Battle of Mu'tah, because Khalid bin al-Walid helped them win the fight, the battle.
Against whom?
Against the Romans.
And my favorite Seerah story was the Battle of Uhud, and it took place in 3 Hijra, and I liked it because it was fascinating. It's when they built Masjid al-Qiba and Nabawi because it's the first place where they start praying. My favorite Seerah story is the Battle of Badr because the Muslims won it in the end. When there was a man named Buhaira, and he found out that Prophet Muhammad was the last prophet because there was a cloud. He found many clues, like a cloud following his head.
Was when Ali and Hamza and another guy beat 3 other guys of Quraysh in the War of Badr.
Is when the Muslims went against the Romans, and the Muslims were only 3,000, while the Romans were 200,000. And because of Khalid ibn Walid's genius thinking or genius plans, they still beat them. My favorite part in the Seerah was when they wrote down the treaty in year 6 Hijri. When Prophet Muhammad dies, and my favorite part wasn't when he does die, it was when Omar Khattab was very sad and he wouldn't accept that he's dead. Is when the Muslims fought against the strongest empire, which are the Romans, and won because of Khalid bin Walid's genius plan. Prophet Muhammad dies, and then all the Muslims are worried and crying, and then Abu Bakr Siddiq comes and says an ayah, and Umar bin Khattab just freezes like he never heard it before. When the Romans attacked the Muslims, and the Muslims won with Khalid bin Walid's genius.
Prophet Muhammad ran down the mountain saying Zambalini.
Who did he run to?
Khadija.
My favorite part of my Seerah story is when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was migrating to Mecca to Medina with Abu Bakr.
My favorite part of the Seerah is the migration to Abyssinia because Najashi was very kind to the Muslims and protected them. My favorite part of the Seerah was when they did the Battle of the Trench because it was a really smart idea to build the trench.
Who thought of that idea?
Salman al-Farisi.
After the boycott, when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ got to talk to Allah in Isra wal Mi'raj.
When the angels ripped up Prophet Muhammad's heart. It really interests me because I never had seen or heard something like that.
The Battle of Uhud, because even though the Muslims didn't win, it still seemed like it was a tie. My favorite part of the Seerah was the Battle of the Trench because the Muslims they used other ways to win the battle, and they won. So my favorite battle is the Ma'arakat Mu'tah because Khalid bin Walid was able to trick 200,000 men into more Muslims coming to fight, even because 200,000 men were very tired.
My favorite part of the Seerah is when Zayd bin Haritha chose Prophet Muhammad ﷺ over his own father.
I have a lot of favorite stories, but one of my favorite is when Angel Jibreel split open Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's heart and cleaned his heart with Zamzam.
My favorite part of the Seerah was when Prophet Muhammad gave his last khutbah in Hajj.
Is when Zayd had to choose between Muhammad or his dad. The people when Prophet Muhammad told the people on the mountain to stay on the mountain when they disobeyed him, and then that's how the people lost the battle because they disobeyed Muhammad.
Which battle was that?
Battle of Uhud. Angel Jibreel came down to Prophet Muhammad and took his heart and cleansed it with Zamzam water.